cap-and-trade policy.
Most effective weapons in the battle for a better environment. But what is a carbon unit? A carbon unit is a permit to emit 1 ton of CO2. This is equal to the emissions of a one-way flight from Oslo to Bangkok for one person, or 5 months of driving by an average Norwegian motorist. So how does the emission trading scheme actually work? The emission trading scheme determines how much CO2 and other greenhouse gases we can emit. In 1997, most of the countries in the world signed the Kyoto Protocol. The aim of this agreement is that all industrialized countries should reduce their total emissions of greenhouse gases by at least 5% from 2008 to 2012, compared to their emissions in 1990.
The Kyoto Protocol is when most countries got together and signed a contract stating that they will lower their CO2 emissions 5% by 2012. The cap and trade policy helped them accomplish that goal because it gave them a total limit of how much CO2 each industry can emit. As a whole, it made countries responsible for following their cap.
Carbon units to those industrialized countries that have signed the treaty. These units set a limit on the level of emissions. This limit is equivalent to the total amount of CO2 that these countries are permitted to emit, and which is less than the anticipated emissions. Some countries are so successful in reducing their emissions that they simply don't need all the carbon units they've been allocated, while other countries may struggle to reduce their emissions and need more units. Countries may, therefore, buy and sell carbon units. The price of tradable units depends on how many there are in circulation. Similar to a stock exchange, prices vary according to supply and demand.
Excuse me, sir. I need a carbon unit. Do you have any carbon units? I just happen to have a carbon unit. Would you take 19 million for a carbon unit? No, I'd have to say 20 million. How about 19 million and a prize chicken? Those are some prized chickens, but I'd still have to say 20 million. You drive a hard bargain, my friend. Just so happens I have a check here. Just so happens I have a carbon unit. For 20 million. Do we have a deal? I think we do have a deal. Excellent. Here you go, sir. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Some people pollute more than others. Worldwide, the average person emits around 4 tons of CO2 a year. In total, this amounts to more than 27 billion tons. As an individual, you're not part of the emission trading scheme. However, you can still contribute by offsetting your own private emissions. Several public and private websites allow you to both calculate and offset your emissions. The Norwegian government has established a voluntary carbon offset scheme where the units you buy are deleted from the official trading scheme. For every ton offset, there will be 1 less unit available in the UN's emission trading scheme. As the price of units increases, it pays for the industry to work harder at reducing emissions. In other words, polluting becomes more expensive.